Hello, my name is Bob, and I wanted to put together a video to describe my experience with tinnitus and, more importantly, the things that have helped me so far. Back in May of 2023, I woke up one morning with significant and loud tinnitus, so loud in fact that I could barely hear my wife in the same room. I'm not here to drag you through, nor do you need to listen to my stories of panic and fear and anxiety, or the MRIs and CAT scans and blood work and the doctor's visits, only to hear that the results came back normal and there was nothing that can be done. But rather, I wanted to describe a few things that I have found and some techniques that have helped me along the way. Early on, I found a group online that had tinnitus experience, and they provide maskers and they provided online counseling. So I quickly signed up. I got the maskers, started using them. I was teamed up with an online counselor. Helped me a lot. Helped take the edge off. I wasn't eating well at that time, or my routines were shot. I wasn't exercising. I was out of sorts. It started to calm me down. I started to eat better. I started to get back into exercise. I started to get basically a semi-normal life again. But along the way, I felt like there was more that I needed to be doing. There's more that could be done. So I kept researching online, and I found a YouTube video that was an interview with Julian Cowan-Hill, where he described and introduced his Quieten app. I immediately downloaded the app and found this incredible tool packed full of information. Many of you already know this if you're watching this video. There was a matrix which described all the different levels of tinnitus. There were videos, hundreds of videos, that provided methods, meditations, breathing exercises, body-based techniques, different mindsets, things that I was open to but had never tried before. And I started to rotate that into my daily life. I even downloaded his audiobook, which I listened to, I think, back to back, probably 3 times in a row. All of this helped a lot. On a side note, I'm so thankful that we have the internet, we have Zoom conferencing, and we have apps and videos and things that can help us. I can't imagine what somebody with tinnitus, years ago that didn't have these tools, how they got help. They just had to live with it. So incredible. But I found myself still longing for one-on-one interpersonal contact, interaction. I have an incredibly supportive partner, my wife, and that's been such a help, but she doesn't really quite understand what I'm going through. She sees it, but she doesn't have it herself. I had nobody in my local immediate surroundings, my friends, family, nobody who quite understood, and there was no counselor or doctor or anybody that could help me in my immediate space. So I was longing for that. One morning I opened up the app to start doing my practices, started working through the videos, and Julian had introduced a new video, which was an introduction to the first ever Tinnitus Healing Retreat, which was going to be held in Sardinia, Italy. So I signed up, and I flew all the way from the west coast of the United States to Sardinia, Italy, a small island off the coast of Italy. It was quite a journey. I was one of 12 attendees from all different walks of life, but with one common purpose, and that was to get help, to learn techniques, to get better. We were met by 3 therapists. Julian, you already know what Julian brings to the table, all the tinnitus expertise and knowledge and guidance that he has provided over the years. And Michael and Paola, and collectively with the 3 of them, they provided psychotherapy, craniosacral therapy, medical and ENT, ears, nose, and throat expertise, musical and sound therapy, vocal training, care of the throat, meditation guidance, and so much more. We spent each day for a week learning about the auditory nervous system, the behavioral pathways. We did daily exercises, we did daily meditations. We experienced hands-on craniosacral therapy. We were examined by Michael and learned about our particular subtypes, of which I learned mine was the central subtype. I didn't really understand that before going. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of the different things that we experienced, because you can look at that, or you can see that on one of Julian's videos where he describes the retreat or the invitation of the retreat itself. I told Julian early on that, I didn't go to Sardinia to be on a vacation or to swim in the sea or to eat a bunch of great food. I needed help. I was in pain. I would have traveled to the North Pole in January if that's where they held it, but I'm glad they didn't, because Sardinia was a pleasant surprise. It was warm, it was beautiful. The local people there were strong and beautiful people. The sand, we did a lot of exercises and meditations in the sand and in the sea. It really helped us come out of our head more and back into our bodies. It was calming. I needed that a lot, and it was safe. The sea was incredibly safe there. Another thing that was of particular interest to me is that they provided sound therapy, as I said, music therapy, if you will. Music is a huge part of my life. I enjoy playing music. I like to play drums. I love listening to music, but back in May when the significant tinnitus happened, I shut it down. I wouldn't listen to it. I didn't listen to music for probably 3 months. I was afraid of it, certain frequencies, certain instruments, and the ringing in my ears. I couldn't handle it. But back to the retreat, at the end of each day, we were provided sound therapy, if you will. Paola would play these gentle and simple musical instruments and would vocalize or sing while we were in a meditation session. And I found myself easing back in and relaxing back into music, allowing it back into my life, if you will. I guess you can tell right now I've been recording this video over a few day period because I am at a musical festival, outdoor musical festival here in Miami Beach. I'm wearing hearing protection when the music gets loud, of course, but it's been 12 hours of music a day. I would never have done that 4 or 5 months ago. There's no way. And here I am 3 months out of the retreat. I listen to music at home. We have vintage stereo systems and speakers. We listen to it every evening. I'm at a musical conference or a festival, and thank God I'm able to listen to music again, because that's a big treat, big part of my life. Another interesting aspect of the retreat was the connection with the other participants. Before I went, I thought being in the same room or being in close contact with other people with tinnitus and talking about tinnitus all day long would make me crazy or have too much focus on it, or I would get sick of talking about it. And on the contrary, it actually turned out to be cathartic. We shared stories together. We took notes, tips, things that helped us or didn't help us. That was a pleasant surprise. It helped a lot, and I've actually gained a few lasting friendships from it. So that was great. Yeah, the retreat was such a powerful and beneficial experience. I can't imagine, to use a double negative, I cannot imagine not having gone. But back to the purpose of this video, what have I taken, what am I using that is helping me? A few of the things that I brought back from the retreat and that I've rotated into my daily or weekly life are a few of the meditations and practices, such as I start my mornings with boat mast meditation, very centering, very calming, preparing for the day, body scan during that time to see what feels good and maybe what doesn't. I do a foot soak. Sometimes I do a hot tub, cold plunge kind of combination to pull myself back into my body first thing in the morning rather than going onto my computer or onto the phone or checking this or that. I start it more calmly. I have experienced and I try to do this slow walking meditation, which helps slow me down. I have a kind of an intense personality, and so that helps calm me at times. Boat mast meditation you could do anytime too. There are times when I feel myself kind of agitated or I'm too distracted by things. I can sit for a minute or two and just calm and do that particular meditation. Helps a lot. Sack of potatoes. It's kind of a funny one. I don't even understand what it does, except when I do that at night before bed, it calms me. It makes me kind of tired, prepares me for sleep. Sleep's a huge thing for me. If I don't get good sleep, I have a bad tinnitus day. If I get good sleep, I have a better day. And boat mast in the morning is a big deal, but sack of potatoes at night works wonders. Another important and powerful thing that happened during the retreat was hands-on craniosacral therapy. I had never experienced that before, and I've learned the importance of it for myself, for calming myself, calming the nervous system, calming tinnitus. So I found a local therapist along with massage therapy. I do regularly now, or I have performed regularly every other week. That's been a big part of my recipe, if you will. And I could go on and on and on about what I experienced there or my journey so far, but pretty much that is all the different things that I've tried, and I am doing right now to try to help this condition. I'm not here to say that I've got it figured out. I don't. I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm trying different things along the way. I am learning what makes it better and what makes it worse. Not one method works for everybody. We're all different. And I just wanted to share, a few of the things that are helping me along the way. And if that helps somebody else, then God bless, so be it. Do I still have tinnitus? Yes. There are times that I wish I didn't, of course, but I can tell you that now on a regular basis, my numbers are 2 to 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst. There are many days I've had 1s. Before the retreat, my averages were 6, 7s, and 8s. I had never had a 1. I never even really had a 2. So I had a few, maybe 3 or 4, surprisingly, but my numbers now are much less than before the retreat. That's a big deal, and I can see that because I've been tracking it. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know, but my wife tracks the numbers for me, and I love data, so I do it. And I can see the trend over time going down and down and down. And there are days I have a bad day or I have a bad moment. And when that happens, I remember what I hear Julian saying in my head, stop catastrophizing. And I'm able to just stop it and say, that's not going to help me. It's not going to, make this any better. And I redirect my focus and I do something else positive. I go for a walk. I listen to music. I talk with my wife. I do something. I do boat mast meditation. I do calming. I yawn. Yawning is amazing. You'll learn that at the retreat. But I do different things to help bring me out of that situation. Or I read Michael's medical summary that I received at the end of the retreat from him, and I think about the different things that I can do. Or I remember the little post-it note that he put at the end of my summary, and that was to trust my own intuitions. And that also helps. Or I remember my conversation with Paula at the last night of the retreat, where she very matter-of-fact and calmingly told me, of course this is going to get better. Stay with the process. It's going to get better. And of all the things at the retreat that I've rotated into my life, the different techniques, the people I met, the practices that I've learned, the knowledge that I gained about the nervous system, one of the biggest things that I got face to face was the reassurance from people who have had it, from people who have gone through it, from people who have helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patients with tinnitus, that it is going to get better. You just have to stay with it, one step at a time. So if you're considering whether or not to go to the retreat, I, for one, would encourage you to go. The hands-on approach, the one-on-one, the expertise, knowledge, and care of the therapists, and then being around others who are going through what you're going through and can relate to what you're going through, it's a powerful experience. The way I felt before the retreat and the way that I feel now are significantly different. I'm doing much better. I have tools that were refined at the retreat. explained carefully. I know how to do them better now, and I'm progressing a lot better, and I have more confidence, and I'm a lot calmer. So I would encourage it. And so here I sit describing some of the things that have helped me along the way in my progress, whereas 8 or 9 months ago I thought, I can't do this, I can't live like this. Time flies, one step at a time, and I hope this helps in some small way. We're flying back home today, and so before we do, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to do a quick boat mass meditation. I'm going to walk on the beach and feel the sand in my feet and listen to the ocean. I wish you good health and peace. Thank you.